Tonight on 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown, John Richardson, David Mitchell, Russell Howard, Harriet Lloyd, Sam Simmons, Susie Dent, and Rachel Riley. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy
And welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown, a show all about letters, numbers and conundrums. Did you know, for example, ghosting means to cut off all communication with someone? My nan ghosted me recently, by which I mean she died. There's a word in German that means a face that needs a slap. We've got a word for that in English too. It's a John Richardson. And according to a recent study, dogs can understand both words and intonation. So if there are any dogs watching, stop shitting on my driveway. Right, let's get started. OK, let's meet tonight's players. First up, it's John Richardson. John has just had a baby daughter.
And I'm already back to my previous weight. We'll discuss that.
He loves to be touched.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I used to live with him. Loves it. Loves every bit, don't you?
Congratulations to John's wife. It took 12 long hours of pain, tears and drugs, but eventually John managed to get her pregnant.
12 hours? Wonderful. Excellent. Can you imagine?
12 hours.
That's all I'll do in my lifetime.
John's teammate, it's Russell Howard.
Hello.
Russell used to live with John Richardson at university, and it was living with John that actually inspired Russell to take up stand-up. Anything to get out of that flat. Up against him this evening, it's special guest team captain David Mitchell. David Mitchell is such an old-fashioned fuddy-duddy that his daughter's first word was grandad. And joining David tonight, it's Carrie-Anne Lloyd.
Hey.
Carrie-Anne once performed a 50-hour improv marathon. They only stopped it when the inmates at Guantanamo finally cracked. David, it says here your first crush was on Madonna. How are you feeling about her now?
It was a long time ago, you know. She's moved on, I've moved on. What do you want me to... You want me to say on television that Madonna is less attractive now? You think that's a useful thing to do for society? To say that actually the way men perceive women is that they become less attractive when they get into middle age and older. I'm not proud of that, but yes, that's the society we're in, Jimmy. Thanks for bringing it up.
I'm not even... But I don't think that Madonna's... I mean, she's 55 years of age. She's got the body of a man half that age.
Madonna's actually, she's 57. I know that 'cause she's the same age as my mum. And my mum's got a crush on you, so...
OK, Carrie-Anne, you recently played Angela Merkel on Murder in Successville. How did you get into character?
I moved to Berlin. I learnt German. I joined the Christian Democratic Unions. And then, Jimmy, I remembered YouTube existed, so I just YouTubed her videos until I found Angela.
Can we get a little burst of Angela?
Well, she's quite serious, but in my head she's a little bit more fun, so she likes joking and gummy bears and skateboarding. That's my Angela Merkel. She's just, you know, she's chilly. She's got a cat. Do you want to stroke it?
I think I do.
Do you know the German for pregnant? Do you know what it is?
Nein.
Sprangenstaft!
What a lovely word for a wonderful thing.
The German for ice skating is Schlittschuhlaufen.
Shit you laughing?
Schlittschuhlaufen.
Schlittschuhlaufen.
Shit you laughing. I've laughed a lot, but I never actually shit myself laughing.
Have you not?
No, have you ever shat yourself laughing?
This young man made me do it. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? I
When did you shit
can't
yourself
remember what you
laughing?
said. We were at a private school, we were doing a gig, and he said something very funny, and it just... My mouth liked it, and my arse did too. And then I made you laugh, and then you were worried you were going to shit yourself. You were in a right state.
But I didn't.
You won that day.
Yeah.
What were you doing in a private school?
It's important the kids know what happens if you don't try hard at school.
That's where we came in, with our shitty pants. I remember what happened now. We were both laughing, and then I stopped laughing, and then he knew. I think I looked at you and went, I have. What should I do? And he was like,
You need to get to the bloody toilet, take your bloody... crazy bastard in the bloody school.
That's what I talk like.
Yeah.
It's a supernatural power that I have, and any of you who cross me this evening will be made to shit your pants like this.
And what a member of the X-Men you'd be.
Russell, are you worried about letting John down? Because John does take this quite seriously.
Well, I've got a plan for that. If I do let John down, I've got some presents for him. Because, first of all, I've got some lovely port.
Oh, I do like pork.
I know you do.
Who likes pork?
Well, that's not all he likes. When he used to get in one of his funny moods, he used to go off, take a bottle of port and watch Winnie the Pooh, didn't you, mate?
Watching Winnie the Pooh?
Oh, he loves it, don't you, big dog? Absolutely loves it. It was that lovely quote. What was that quote you loved?
Get out of my fucking room.
Wasn't that? It's when Piglet says, how do you spell love, Winnie? And Winnie goes, you don't spell it, you feel it. Obviously, he doesn't say it. You feel it.
It's Tommy Cooper playing Winnie the Pooh.
So if I do what I'm trying to say, if I let John down, I've got presents for him.
OK. So, John, you've recently had a baby. How are you coping?
It's horrific, I would say, yeah. The only annoying thing people keep saying about the first few weeks, they keep saying it's like Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
But then in Groundhog Day, every night he goes to bed, and when he wakes up, everything's tidy again. It's like Groundhog Day, but everything that's got shit on it when he goes to bed still has shit on it. In fact, there's
you should
more
be prepared
shit.
for this, because you've lived with Russell. OK, Harriet, have you got a mascot?
Well, I am indeed pregnant. I'm what's medically known as heavily pregnant, which basically means just no one wants to be in a room alone with me in case it comes out like an alien. Yeah. People are afraid. They pull that face. They're worried when they're on their own.
I mean, it feels like it could.
Yeah,
It
which
could
is
arrive
fine.
now, right?
And this show, obviously, it's quite stressful. Last time I was here, I remembered I can't add up. What happened last time? So I was a bit worried about being on the show, getting a bit stressed. So my mascot this week, I've asked my midwife is here. So please welcome Magda, everybody.
Great.
This is Magda, my midwife. So yeah, Magda's just gonna keep an eye on me. Like we're just gonna check blood pressure as we go through.
Sorry, did Magda bring drugs?
Yeah, I've got some gas and air. So this is for the numbers round, because that's my work. And, yeah, so because I just felt like no one here was medically qualified, and I felt like John might pressure me to get it out in 30 seconds, which me and my perineum do not want. So I just
You're
thought it'd
doing
be
a
best.
perineal massage.
You can't start till 37 weeks.
You are fucking kidding me. I was doing that shit for months.
Oh, mate, she saw you coming. Well, she did literally see you.
Good, we've got Magda on standby. Thank you very much indeed. Magda, the midwife. OK, David, have you got a mascot?
Yes, my mascot is this book, Peri Peri Chicken, a CIA conspiracy. It's by Keith Chegwin. It's not the Keith Chegwin you'll be aware of. He's a Labour peer. Lord Chegwin. And if you think about it, Peri Peri Chicken didn't exist at all for thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, it's everywhere. Why? I don't know if anyone's ever had any. If you have, you'll know it's not because of what it tastes like. No one's asking for that. I mean, it's all right, it's palatable, but no one's asking for that. Nobody wants it.
Can we let someone say that?
All I'm going to say, if you're going to contradict me, you're part of the conspiracy. It goes right to the top. I don't know why they're doing it, but they've infiltrated our high streets with this completely unnecessary form of chicken. We don't know what is on it. It's called Peri Peri, but that is not a thing that we know the composition of.
Well,
it's changing our brains in various ways that we're not aware of, and it could destroy civilization as we know it.
Have you ever had a KFC?
I have had a KFC, yes. Yeah, that's not peri-peri. That's fine. That's got
fine.
nothing to do with the CIA. Actually, Colonel Sanders is one of the people who funded this book.
Have you ever had a peri-peri chicken?
I've had it once, but I'm reliably informed not enough for it to have had its effect.
So you've had it once. Did you have the hot peri-peri or the medium, the mild? What do you
think? Lemon and herb all the way.
OK. John, have you got a mascot?
Yeah, well, similar to David, really. I'm raising awareness this week of a new charity. I would like to raise awareness of my new charity, the RSPC Flea. So we're obviously all aware of the weight of this thing. We've all been to the flea circuses, of course we have, where the fleas... They make millions of pounds for unscrupulous people.
Millions!
The question is what happens to the fleas who aren't good enough to get in the circus. And a lot of them end up in prostitution. The lucky ones end up on a dog. And that's saying something. So I've set up a charity which accepts fleas who didn't make the grade for the circus. And this is one of my flea farms. Just look at what these little guys are churning out.
Where are the fleas?
Well,
have you got them in there working like a little sweatshop?
There's Gary. Neville's serving a time-out because he was smoking. They do get nervy. They obviously don't like to be relocated. Oh, so because Gary's just had a little wee there. They do sometimes... They piss a bit when you take them out of the house, and I think it's just... Gary's just...
So you had a baby, and it's too much, and you've had a breakdown. Yeah, have some port, take the edge off. Russell, have you got a mascot?
Yeah, this is from July 1989, and it's Russell Howard, Best Improver.
Best Improver?
Which basically means he doesn't drown no more.
Is it swimming?
Yeah, it is swimming.
That's like a proper mascot on Countdown. That's taking it seriously, I think. That's the kind of thing people bring in.
Well, see, that was my initial idea, and then I thought, it seems a bit obvious. So, again, I thought...
Yeah, we get inundated with swimming medals that people got when they were 7.
So I thought this would be more fun. I've got my first present for John's baby daughter, which is a little piano.
Oh, are you saying she's going to be small because I'm small?
It's a genius idea. That's a beautiful thing, and it also looks like it's going to be very loud.
Morning, Dad! Love you!
Countdown.
Oh, the Countdown theme tune. Wow, you're one of those people who can just hear a tune and play it.
Yeah, listen again.
Over in Dictionary Corner, it's Sam Simmons.
Thank you.
Sam has an unusual look. He looks like the guy at the police press conference everyone thought did it, but it turns out he did. Sam, you've been in the UK a while now. What have you learnt about us Brits?
I don't like you guys a lot. the main gist. But I've learnt some fun facts, OK? So, you know, before you guys, like, kind of got cultured, like, when the Romans invaded, and you guys were, like, before that, you guys were just, like, eating sticks and mud. Now, what would happen during Roman times is that slaves, they used to have just one arm. They'd, like, just amputate one arm off a slave. And then, when you saw that, you were like, OK, we can use slaves in our silver service industry. So now when you get, like, a glass of wine poured for you, and then the person puts their arm behind their back, they're actually pretending to be a Roman slave. Is that not true?
I'd say it's horrifying.
It's true. I think it's actually a true thing.
So in Roman times, all slaves had one arm.
One arm, because they were amputated, because they'd be like, well, you're a slave for life.
This is thousands of years before...
Silver service. It trickled down.
Not just silver service, but I'm talking about antiseptic and that sort of thing. There would have been about a 4% survival rate.
No, they just burn it on. Just, like, chop it off, burn it on.
Chop it off and burn it on. No, most of them would die.
Yeah, but
That's
why they took so many slaves.
Let me explain what's happened here. You've had a weird dream. And then you've remembered it as fact.
Positive this is true.
You're almost positive this is true.
Yeah.
And I think we're all agreed, not the case.
Why do they hide their arm behind the back to pour the wine?
How do you want them to pour wine like this? Just you, mate, have have some fucking wine! OK, and with Sam, of course, it's Susie Dent. Susie lives a simple life and doesn't yearn for materialistic things. In fact, most of her salary goes on books, potted plants and treats for her pet dog. The rest she spends on crack, male strippers and replacing worn-out equipment in her sex dungeon. What are the words people most frequently get wrong, Susie?
Well, the one there's mischievous instead of mischievous. People say mischievous. There's ultimate. Ultimate actually means last rather than, you know, the top. So
Ultimate means last.
yeah, so Jimmy
I've
would
got
be
the-
the ultimate person I'd like to go out with.
OK, and in charge of the numbers, it's Rachel Riley. With her impressive qualifications in maths, science and physics, Rachel is very much like a modern-day Marie Curie. If Marie Curie had packed it all in to become a sidekick on a quiz show. What's your biggest flaw? You're good at sport, you're good at maths. What's your big flaw?
Well, I'm not much of a performer, as you've pointed out many times, and I'm a terrible singer.
Terrible singer?
Yeah, I went with my friends once to this karaoke bar in France, and there was a whole table of people in the middle, and during the first song, literally everybody left.
What's your go-to karaoke?
That one, there were 4 of us, and we all look like we should be able to sing, but none of us can do a note, and it was the Spice Girls wannabe.
Can you give us a little blast of the
No,
Spice Girls?
absolutely not.
Give it a go. I could be the backing
no.
pin.
No, nobody would.
Wanna be my lover?
He's not musical, but he's confident, isn't he? OK, tonight, the prize the teams will be competing for is this, the Countdown Spray Tan Kit. OK, everyone, let's count down. Time for the first game. David and Karen, you get the first pick of the letters.
You go. You say.
OK, can we start with a consonant, please?
Start with S.
S, and then 2 vowels.
A. O.
2 consonants.
R. D.
Another 2 consonants, please.
N. J.
And another 2 vowels.
And the last one's A and E.
OK, and for the first time today, here's the countdown clock. So, David, how many letters?
5.
Carry out.
5, I'm not sure it's a word.
John, how many?
7.
Oh.
Russell, how many?
6.
OK, carry out your risky 5.
Noser.
Noser.
A noser.
There's a normal nose, and then there's some people have a noser.
Yeah. No. I better have some snacks.
David, what was your non-risky 5?
Well, I got reeds, roads, and jeans.
Russell.
I've got drones. D-R-O-N-E-S.
Drones. Yeah. John, you're 7.
Jasoned.
Jasoned.
He Jasoned the shit out of that Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Highly got Jasoned early doors.
I can see where you're coming from, because Josh is in there, but Jason isn't, I'm afraid. Sorry.
OK, 6 points to Russell.
It's an excellent start.
Sam, Susie, could they have done any better?
Yeah, arenas, trains, sword, just loads of 6s.
OK, so at the end of that, John and Russell are in the lead with 6 points. On to our first numbers round. John and Russell, your turn to pick the numbers.
I'd like you to pick the numbers, Russell, but as me.
Save the fleas, Rich. Can I have whatever you want to get? I don't.
Oh, I'm being you.
Oh, it's Jim!
Rachel.
1 big and 5 small, please.
1 big one, 5 little ones.
Yep.
4, 10, 1, 6 and 2, and the big one, 25.
Oh, Christ.
And the target, 960.
OK, and your time starts now. John, what's going on?
Well, Neville has failed again. And they're all dead. You try and do a good thing for a community that's been beleaguered. Do you know what? Fuck fleas.
OK, so your target was 960. Carry out. Did you get there?
I gave up at 41. I just thought... And I thought...
You
and
got to
then,
41?
I tell you, I'm so number dyslexic, I struggled to write them down. So they started all moving, so I thought, you know what, let's just kick back, have some gas in air.
David, did you get it?
I might have got it,
What?
but I might not.
What? OK, well, we'll come back to you in a second with your maybe.
If you could come back to me in about 3 minutes, then we'll be absolutely sorted.
OK, Russell, did you get it?
See, what happened, right? I wrote down 25 times 10 equals. And that was as far as I got.
So, John, you've got it, yeah?
I've got it,
OK,
mate.
how did you get it, David?
I think it's 25 minus 1.
Yeah.
Have I got there? Not
Yeah.
yet, not yet, no. Times 4 is 96 times 10.
Yeah, 960. Well done.
Wow.
Genius! That's amazing!
John's got it, and he hasn't even written anything down.
Yeah, but I usually go last, so I just wait for someone else to get it, and then I say, I did that.
Did you get it?
I did get it, yes.
OK, well, that's good enough for me. Well, 10 points to both teams. So the scores at the moment, David and Carrie-Anne have 10. John and Russell are in the lead with 16. And here is your teaser. The words are poo forts. The clue is climb up and enjoy the view. That's poo forts, climb up and enjoy the view. See you after the break. Welcome back. The answer to the teaser, the words were poo forts. The clue was climb up and enjoy the view. It was, of course, rooftops. So, John and Russell are in the lead. They've been playing in teams so far, but this game is just for David and John. So, John, your turn to choose the letters.
Can I just briefly tell
course.
my favourite story of John? When I came home, I'd just done a gig and I heard this noise. I opened the door and I just heard... So I opened the door, and do you remember this? You were climbing up the stairs just using your arms. And I said, what are you doing? You went... And you said, I was seeing what it'd be like to climb upstairs if I had no legs. It was the noise. I knew I was onto something.
Consonant, please.
S.
And a vowel, please.
I.
A consonant, please.
T.
Ah, I've got one.
Consonant, please.
G.
Vowel, please.
U.
Consonant, please.
M.
Vowel, please.
O.
Consonant, please.
H.
I've got a really good one if you say it with a lisp.
A final consonant, please.
And a final W.
And your time starts now. Make an arachnid the size of a fat kid. John, how many?
7.
Oh,
David, how many?
fewer than 7.
OK, who's going to break it to Russell that he's not playing this bit?
Oh, shit, am I not?
No, go on. What was the lispy word?
I was going to try moist. Sort of takes the... Because it's quite an horrible word, isn't it? Sort of moist. But if you think moist... it doesn't sound as, are you moist? It doesn't sound as threatening as are you moist.
Why are you threatening people with are you moist?
I don't know why. I'm not getting this wrong.
How often do you think people actually say, are you moist?
OK, David, how many letters?
5.
What is it?
Whist.
Come on. OK, John, what was your word?
It's something you hear a lot in old people's homes.
Get out! What are you doing in here dressed as death?
Gum show. You know, like when the old men are trying to impress the old women, they go, 2 tickets to the gum show.
I'm not sure that's a word.
Gum show's a word, yes?
Gumshoe, not gumshoe.
OK, 5 points to David. Susie, could they have done any better?
Mugshot. Mugshot.
Mug shot.
Exactly 7.
OK, so at the end of that, David and Cariad have 15. John and Russell are just in the lead with 16. Cariad, your turn to pick the numbers.
I'll have one big one and then the requisite amount of smaller ones.
Thank you, Carrie. 1 big one, 5 little ones.
That's the numbers.
Hang on, is this me and Cariad?
This is everyone, because if it was you and Cariad...
Yeah, I was going to say.
I mean, no offence to either of you. It's
thank
lovely to have
Christ
you on
for
the
that.
show, but I imagine you versus Cariad, it would just be, did anyone get it? No. Rachel, do some maths.
I was just thinking, it would be lovely if you had your baby tonight.
Yeah, it would
specifically to diddle-diddle-diddle-da,
Popped on that bit.
Lovely, yeah.
And then even though I can't add up, I can create life, so...
Yes.
Okay, the numbers. 9, 4, 8,
Sweet Jesus.
5, 10, and 50.
OK, 50. OK, I wrote them
And the
down.
target?
Right. Oh,
107.
And your time starts now. So, the target was 107. Cariad, did you get it?
I think I did.
You think you did? OK,
But I might
huge.
be wrong.
OK, David, did you get it?
No.
John, did you get it?
Yes.
Oh, quite a smug yes.
Sorry. Yeah.
Russell, did you get it?
Nope.
What did you get? How did you do?
Just thought you through.
Oh, should we have a laugh at my...
I just saw multiplied by 10 equals 1,300.
Cariad, how did you do it?
I'm so nervous. Like, I feel like it's going to induce the baby because I've
Go
done
on.
maths, so this has not ever happened in my life. But 9 times 10
9 times 10
is 90,
90.
plus 8,
98,
plus 4,
102,
plus
Yes.
5.
107.
John, did you do it the same way?
4 times 10 is 40, plus
Yeah.
50 plus 8 plus 9.
Lovely. Same result.
OK.
Well done.
Well, 10 points to each.
Well done.
OK, so David and Cariad have 25, John and Russell have 26. Right, time to go across to Dictionary Corner. Sam Simmons, what have you got for us?
OK, well, I've realised that none of us really have real jobs. Like, no one's done a real job for years. So what I like to do is recreate a work environment, like an office kind of thing, but I'm going to do, like, an improvised musical, kind of like a shit Mike Lee. OK? So you'll be hole punch. You can be in charge of... You can have a fluorescent lighter, you can have a ruler.
Oh, thank
You can have another ruler, and you've got a fluoro as well. Jimmy, you've got nothing.
I know, I felt
You've got
it
this?
was sad when you got a ruler.
At some point, I will come to you.
Okay.
All right, so this is a musical about, like, what I would think would typically happen in any office all over the country. Let's go. I walked into my workplace and I sat down at my desk. I said good morning to Jimmy. Good morning. We talked about the weekend. He stole some money. Staring at a stapler, clicking on a click pen. Thinking about the sandwich I am gonna have for lunch. Then I dropped my pen and rolled underneath the copier. Hope I get it back or I'll have to get a new one. Now I need a new pen. Hope I get a good one. Sandwich, Jimmy, click pen, new one. This is going so well. I went to visit Rachel, because she's in charge of the pens. Explained my pen situation, I dropped it. Then she gave me a new pen. Yeah, I just got a new pen. It's a Rachel, click pen, yeah. It's a big finish, it's a really big finish. I've got a clicking new pen.
Sam Simmons, everyone.
Thank you.
And here is your teaser. The words are toss time. The clue is always gets me wet. That's toss time, always gets me wet. See you after the break. Welcome back. The answer to the teaser. The words were toss time. The clue was always gets me wet. It was, of course, moistest. OK, before we get on with the game, time for a bonus round. John and Russell used to be flatmates, so tonight we're going to test just how much they know about each other. So, John and Russell, make your way to the podium for our version of Mr. and Mrs. It's Mr. and Mr. The kind of telly I should be making. Can I move you there and you there? OK, I'm going to ask John some questions.
Yep.
Russell, you're going to have ear protectors on, so you won't be able to hear what he answers, and then you're going to have to answer and tell me what he said.
OK.
If you get most of your answers right, your team gets the points, but if you get most of them wrong, then the points go to David and Cariad. So a lot at stake here. I mean, this could really make a difference. OK, so you just pop these on and go and sit by Rachel. You look amazing. OK, all right, here we go. John, when you lived in a flat with Russell, what was the worst thing you ever did to your flatmates?
Oh, well, that would be the time that I got so tired of cleaning the flat that while they were out, I tidied the flat and then left them an itemised bill for my time at minimum wage. You know, I didn't want to overcharge the guys, but, you know, it's important they learnt that this shit doesn't happen for free.
All right, OK. What's the most unusual thing about your body?
Someone's touched it. My chest hair is sort of roughly heart-shaped.
Is this your Match.com profile we're listening to?
Very much.
OK, that will do, I mean, for weirdness.
I also have a little mole just in there. Not...
Can you see that? A little mole?
A little...
Oh, there is a little mole there.
People really hate it, because they go, oh, you've got a bit of chocolate, and I go, no, it's a mole, and they go,
I can see why, it's really gross.
It's horrible, isn't it?
OK, so what are we going to go for, the chest hair?
Chest hair, yeah.
OK, weird
Let's
chest
leave
hair,
Molly out
shaved
of it.
in a heart. And you shave it like that, do you?
No, it just grew like that. I'm like a sort of Care Bear.
OK, last question. When you lived with Russell, what was his most annoying habit?
Oh, well, undoubtedly. I mean, he's got a thing for teaspoons. He likes to borrow them away as if there's going to come some sort of apocalypse and teaspoons will be the only currency and he will be king of all the worlds. His most annoying habit is that he flosses the skin in between the toes of his feet with his socks in the front room. You can sort of see it, you know, like when you turn a snow globe upside down.
All right, time to get Russell back. Russell, come back over. OK, Russell, here's the first question. OK, when you guys lived together, what was the worst thing John did to his flatmates? What do you think he said?
I'll tell you what he did do once. He tidied up the flat and then he charged us for it.
OK, what's the most unusual thing about John's tiny little body?
Yeah, that's it. He's got weird chest hair. He's got really odd chest hair.
What's weird about his chest hair?
I can't remember. It's something to do... what is it? Let's have a look. It's no proper, come on. This is it.
This is like Brokeback Mountain.
Show me the world.
Can I see?
There you go.
He is like a little Care Bear.
That's it, yeah. He's like a little Care Bear.
We'll give you that. He has a chest hair in the shape of sort of a heart. OK. When John lived with you, what was your most annoying habit?
I'll tell you what it might be. I should point out, I don't do this anymore. Is it that then? Okay.
Well, I don't know, just whatever you're about to say, you still do.
No, I don't. I used to scratch my sort of feet with socks, and that was my thing. And John didn't like it.
Nobody liked it. The house wasn't split down the middle. He'd get the toes like that, and then he'd get the sock and he'd go...
Yeah, but I'll be honest, when I was doing that, and I suffered very badly from athlete's foot, which, you know, that was why I was doing it. I wasn't sort of...
Oh, yeah,
you know,
it wasn't for fun.
Yeah.
It was to get rotten skin off his feet onto the carpet of the living room. There was a purpose.
OK, well, you got all of those right, so you get 5 points for
Oh,
that.
sweet. There you go.
Thank you for playing Mr and Mister. OK, on with the game. David and Cariad, your turn to choose the letters.
2 consonants to start with, please.
Thank you, David. T-C.
And then 2 vowels.
A-E.
3 more consonants.
Jesus
And
Christ.
a splurge.
S.
I have 1 of each now, a vowel and a consonant, whichever way round you want.
I-M-P.
And your time starts now. So, David, how many letters?
I think 6.
You think 6? Cariad, how many letters?
I think 6 as well.
Russell, how many?
6.
John?
I think an 8, but I don't think it is an 8, but I've written it down and now I can't not say it.
OK, all right. So, Cariad, what was your 6?
Well, I think it might be a common 6. Breast.
You've gone breast.
I've gone breast.
OK, David, your 6?
Breast.
So we've got two breasts.
Two
Well,
breasts.
they come in pairs.
Yeah.
They do come in pairs. OK, Russell, your
I
6?
went for braise.
OK. John, what was your risky 8?
Well, crappiest. But I think it's probably double P.
Yeah. Double P.
OK, well, 6 points to both teams. Sam, Susie, what could they have had?
Ass pic. It's like a reverse selfie. So you just like, put the camera down there and just take an ass pic.
Pen cam.
What, the pen cam? Don't give him the pan cam now.
I know.
Is that real? Does that work?
Yeah.
Well, let's do it.
No, because we can't unsee it. No.
Let's do this! Oh, no. Look at your face.
Can we just...
That was designed for doing close-up of the dictionary decades ago. You might as well use the royal coach to go dogging. Come on, Your Majesty, pull the horses into a lay-by.
Susie, could they have done any better?
Yeah, there was carpets for 7 or practice for 8.
OK, time to go across to Dictionary Corner again. Sam, what have you got for us?
I got to put on my jumper first.
OK.
All right. Let's pull this out here. And that's it. I'm done.
Sam Simmons, everyone. Sam Simmons.
That's it. That's all I'm doing.
Is there more?
No.
There's no more to it.
That's it.
You can't do it, can you? Otherwise you'd have a jumper on.
I've also got like a random collection of bad thoughts. Not very good thoughts. This cheese grater. This is pretty great. It's not so great. Good thoughts. Pine cones. I reckon pine cones are just like Lego for poor people. Not very good thoughts. This magical koala's asshole. It's where capsicums come from. Not very good thoughts. That time when I put a bounty on my head. Oh, don't shoot. Don't shoot. Not very good thoughts. This man with reindeer hooves for hands trying to pick out a new paint colour for his kitchen. posh people. You know posh people, they're all like, rah, 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 regatta. Oh, bring me a mulligatawny. And they're always wearing pastel shirts with their collar up. You know that pastel shirt collar up look? You know what you can do with them? If you're putting them north into the sun, you can use their collar like a sundial on their shoulder, and then you can tell it's the time for those posh people to fuck off.
Sam Simmons, everyone. OK, so at the end of that, David and Carrie-Anne have 31, John and Russell have 37. And here is your final teaser. The words are taken bum. The clue is Bagsy on top. That's taken bum, Bagsy on top. See you after the break. Welcome back. The answer to the teaser. The words were taken bum. The clue was Bagsy on top. It was, of course, bunkmate. OK, time for our final letters game. John and Russell, your turn to choose the letters.
John, I'd like you to choose them in the style of me, please.
You know they letters. I one half like 9 of them. Christ, I love a letter. What's the one that's like B?
C?
I'll have a C. Knock yourself out.
Right.
I did that once. I went too fast on my bike, hit a lamppost, knocked myself out. L. All right then. L for a lady. We'll have a vowel.
E.
Yeah, look, that's French, that. I done a bit of French. That's as far as I got in French. Consonant, please.
K.
You been up the new, been up Cribs Causeway lately?
Can't say no.
Boy, it's murder at Christmas. I'll have another consonant. I don't like K.
N.
N I like, that's good. Go on, keep going.
No.
No one really cares anymore, do they? Another consonant.
If you just look at Russell, it's like it's his thoughts.
T.
That's actually, that's a word up there anyway. That's French for the knot. Consonant, please.
F.
A vowel, please.
A.
One left, is it? You pick.
G.
OK, your 30 seconds starts now. David, how many?
5.
Carrie-Anne?
5.
John?
6.
Russell?
4.
You're 4.
Tank.
OK, Carrie-Anne, you're 5.
Token or taken? Either one.
David, you're 5.
Gloat.
What's your 6, John?
Now, it's one of those words I've heard girls use when I, well, just heard the music.
Don't worry about it, it happens all the time.
It's a girl's word. Anklet.
Yeah,
Anklet.
yeah, very good.
OK. Well, 6 points to John. Sam, Susie, could they have done any better?
Fankle. Like fat ankle.
It's not. No, it's when something gets entangled.
Oh, I thought it meant
something
fat ankle. I thought
Yeah,
it was...
that's a tangle.
And tangelo.
Tangelo.
And
Yeah.
what does that mean, Sam?
It's like a mandarin fruit.
Yeah.
OK, so David and Carrie-Anne have 31. John and Russell have 43.
Olé.
OK, fingers on buzzers. It's time for today's Countdown Conundrum. And your time starts now.
Mightiest.
3 seconds in. Let's have a look.
Oh.
He's only gone and bloody done it. 3 seconds in. So the final scores are David and Carrie-Anne have 31, John and Russell have 53. Congratulations, John and Russell. You're now the proud owner of this, the Countdown Spray Tan Kit. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.
Remember the days before they did Countdown? Well, they're back. 8 out of 10 Cats, a brand new series this Tuesday at 10 on More 4. Back this Thursday at midnight here on 4, our showcase for new filmmakers in a new series of random acts. Next tonight, Terror on Boxing Day as a tidal wave hits. Naomi Watts and Ewan McGregor star in The Impossible.